And this is Marfoogle News. This is actually this is a different update than usual because this is going to apply to my local area, but I think it actually applies to the much greater area overall. If you have followed my channel or if you've watched any of my previous videos, then you might know there's been a lot of odd things going on with the communications in the United States. On top of China being infiltrated into our systems, according to DHS and FBI and all of these different agencies that half of us believe half the time, on top of that, there have actually been Fugel family that work in the communications sector that are actual linemen for power. Tonight to spend the night with the person who's going to be driving me to my surgery tomorrow. So I was going to show, then this happened. About 4 a.m., all of our internet went out, and this is not the first time. And I want to hold your thoughts because I know that people will go, oh, well, that's just a local thing. First of all, Xfinity here says because of vandalism, and I'll attach the sources for this, and I'll attach the actual Comcast and the Comcast Washington article that came with this. It's they own all of these medias, so this is an official document from them. Essentially, they said that vandalism causes Comcast service interruption in parts of South King County. Now, this included Burien, it included Kent Vista, Normandy Park, SeaTac, Skyway, and Tukwila. Now, in those areas, they say that some were out into their services, which began this morning. A Comcast cable line was damaged by vandalism. Now, this is a key point because I actually covered a major outage that happened here before, and that one, again, they did not have an answer for. And I don't think that they could say that they just didn't know an answer for it again, so now they're telling us it was vandalism. That event, it not only knocked out the cable, but it also bricked all of the phones. So if you know kind of how that works, and I'm not an expert, but from what was explained to me, is if the internet, Comcast, Xfinity, all of that goes out all at the same time, and you have your cell phone brick, in my case, it was T-Mobile, AT&T, and a hotspot it might be vice versa, a Verizon hotspot and an AT&T tablet SIM card, all of which everybody went out. My neighbors went out, everybody lost cell phone service, it bricked our phones. Now imagine for me, somebody who is covering this stuff and worries about EMP and things like this eventually happening, when I saw that the internet stopped at the exact same time, go on my phone to check down detector, my phone is now bricked and it says SOS. It says you're not registered part of a network. And I go, okay, go to my wife's phone. It's bricked as well. Different provider. She's on a family plan from her mom from when she was in high school. She's been on for 20 years. Then I go to the tablet because I'm like, oh, it's another carrier. It's bricked as well. Then I go to, what was it? It was the hotspot. I tried to turn on the hotspot. It was dead as well. And then I find out that everybody was out because one of the hard lines was actually cut. So the fiber optics, we think of things going to space and back, but really when we're on our cell phone, it goes to a tower, then that tower goes through a hard line to another tower, and then it communicates. So that happened, and again, I pointed it out when I did that video, and I said, hey, I think that they might be trying to test. If they cut a line here, they map and they see, where does this go? Where does this knock out? Now, keep in mind, I'm in the city. All of these areas, Skyway, Tukwila, SeaTac, this is where Boeing is. This is where Boeing is. This is where a lot of the Microsoft camp stuff is. You've got, of course, Amazon here. You've got all sorts of other stuff here. Now, some teenage kids, they cut a line here, they get to map where the outage actually happens because down detector and everybody reports where it goes, and they go, okay, so we know that this line affects here. Now, you may be thinking this is just a local thing, right? Well, after the last event where the bricks were all of the phones were bricked, just a couple days later, we had it somewhere else. A couple days later, you had it somewhere else. I covered these, where other cities were having the exact same things happening where their phones were bricked and their internet was out. That means it was almost the exact same type of event other places. Now this one, they're actually declaring it was part of vandalism, and I think it's because almost the same exact areas are knocked out once again, and they can't just say, oh, well, you know, there was an update or some BS that they usually tell us. So this time, they actually told us. I don't know if it was too big to hide or there was people near where it was vandalized that reported it that they can't really hide. I don't know. But a lot of the times they'll cover that up because they don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like, that people are able to get to this stuff. They don't want to panic people. Now, as far as this goes, I believe that in the next few days and in the next week, we'll be able to find out through X and Twitter. People report this. You can go look. Locals have been reporting this on X since 4 a.m. You'll be able to see other cities have this. Wow. Okay, I hope I'm still live, you guys. I'll see you guys over on the other channel. I'm going to cover all of the rest, and it won't be like this because I'll fix something and I'll get on a different network here. All right.